Good morning, everyone. It is Voluptuously Skinny, and I'm here with day 16 of getting rid of the regain made to crave devotion. So this morning, I wanted to be transparent and say a lot of times when I'm most successful, I start to slack a little bit, and I think this weekend was an area where I was slacked a little bit, not so much on like calories or getting in protein or anything like that, but I think I ate way too many. Not I think I know ate way too many carbs, way too much salt because the scale is going in a different direction. I still feel good, clothes still feel great, so and I know what I did, so that way I can turn it around. But I just want to be transparent and let you know that I struggle too. So if you're struggling with sweets, if you're struggling with staying on track, if you're struggling with any of those things that we've talked about, just know that you are not alone at all. I still struggle even in my success. So just keep coming, you guys. Keep praying. Keep believing that you can get your regain off, that you can get rid of it. So let's get started. Day 16, the G word. Have you ever heard a sermon about eating habits? I doubt it. Excessive drinking, yes. Excessive eating, never. At least I hadn't until a historic church going day when the preacher man pulled out the big G word, gluttony. I rolled my eyes as you've just done and thought, how dare you say to me that eating is a sinful desire? But his point was brilliant, and I took it to heart. How can we stand and wag our fingers in the direction of alcohol only to walk into the church wide, covered dish buffet and stuff ourselves sick with fried, covered and smothered, grossly caloric delights that buckle our paper plates and cause our stomachs to cry for antacids? I want you to hear me. I'm not saying that eating is a sinful desire. What I am saying is, if you have a script like this, I'm fat, I'm ugly, and I'm not capable of getting it together, playing in your mind, then something is waging war against your soul. 1 Peter 2:11 reminds us, dear friends, I urge you as aliens and strangers in the world to abstain from sinful desires which wage war against your soul. In other words, if something is waging war against your soul, it is a sinful desire. Now, please hear me again. Eating in and of itself is not a sinful desire. God made us to consume food, but food was never supposed to consume us. And if food starts consuming us to the point where we cannot feel empowered, then that is a problem. I imagine at this point you are wondering if we really need to go there with this gluttony thing. It's not exactly the most girlfriend friendly topic that makes you want to say, preach on, sister. I'm loving this encouragement. When we rely on overstuffing ourselves with food, drinking until we get drunk, or conducting an adulterous relationship, we are revealing a desperate attempt to silence the cries of a hungry soul. Our souls have the same ravenous intensity as a vacuum cleaner. That's how God created us, with a longing to be filled. It is a longing God instilled to draw us into deep intimacy with Him. The psalmist expresses this longing as an intense thirst. As the deer pants for streams of water, excuse me, that's a little different than what I remember, but let me read it as it's written. As a deer pants for streams of water, so my soul thirsts for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When can I go and meet with God? Indeed, our souls are thirsty and ravenous vacuums. If we fail to fill our souls with spiritual nourishment, we will forever be triggered to numb our longings with our temporary physical pleasures that will never satisfy. This is so very true. And I think this relates to what I was just talking about. You know, when we get very comfortable, we start falling back into those same desires of our hearts, and that's not what we want to do. And even if we don't fall into those same desires, we think that those desires won't take over us and we can just have just a little bit here and a little bit there. And that is not going to be the case. For instance, y'all know we had popcorn on Saturday when we went to the movies. And then yesterday I had late a pasta dish that my son had cooked. Just a small portion. I measured it out, But even that, I think I might be making excuses. So I just need to make sure that I am looking at those things that are more of a desire and a want and not necessarily a need. So let's go to our scripture. 1 Peter 2:11. Dear friends, I urge you as foreigners and exiles to abstain from sinful desires which wage war against your soul. So those things that cause us to think that we're fat, that we're ugly, that we're never going to make it, that we're never going to get that regain off, those are things that are the sinful desires that wage war against our soul, that cause us to be judgmental against ourselves, and we don't need those things. All right, based on today's reading, what is one thing God is saying to you? As usual, I'll put it in my comments and pin it. I will see you guys soon. Y'all keep praying for me. I'll keep praying for you guys. Peace out, babies. Mwah.